Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Section Ninja, in the place to be for Paper Saber Universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Monday Night Raw. Yeah, September 18th, 2023. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on commentary. We're in Salt Lake City, Utah. We started off with Cody Rhodes, comes out and does a promo. And he says, what do y'all want to talk about? I was interrupted by Dom. But Dom and Cody have a match. That's what starts off the show. But, Dom comes out, says his thing. He's getting booed. And then JD comes out. And, Cody Rhodes for the win. Then they circle Cody. Then KO and Sammy come out. And while afterwards, after they chase off the Judgment Day, Cody thanks him, like, thank you for helping me. And he's leaving. Then Kevin Owens is like, hey, American Nightmare, come here. I'll talk to you real quick. After commercial break, we come back. He's like, hey, so you kept saying you are responsible for Jey Uso to be here. I want to know why. Cody grabs the mic. He's like, yeah, I know these people want to know why. Because every time he says, I want to talk about Jimmy Uso, he always gets interrupted. So he's like, I believe in second chances, this and that. And then KO goes, yeah, I do too. He goes, well, let's just think about it. Yeah, Sammy, let's forget that he made you miss the opportunity to be champion in an Elimination Chamber. Okay, Cody, you too, and then me too, several championships. Let's all do that. But he's like, hey, man, like, Jay, he goes, I don't trust him after being kicked last week by him and all this and that, even though it was a mistake, or was it? He says he's going to join the Judgment Day and this and that, so causing more tension and friction, and I really like the payoff of this part of the story that ends the show. So we'll get to that. Next matchup, Kofi Kingston versus Ivar with Valhalla, and, holy shit. Kofi versus Ivar, I was like, okay, I'll watch, I'll take my notes. But, man, I didn't pick up my pen once because they were going back and forth. And guess what? Kofi Kingston for the win. I was like, holy moly, guacamole. What is going on? You want to know what's going on? Is the New Day. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. No Xavier, but, man, this was a banger of a match. Like, I was floored. Like, Ivar was just taking it to town on him. He beating him and this and that, but Kofi still got the win. Fun match. I got to say, this was my match of the night. We have the Seth and Shinsuke package from last week. Ricochet's backstage because he was attacked by Shinsuke. He's got an interview. He's like, yeah, I'm going to face Shinsuke next and whatnot. This is what's going to happen. And as we get this match started with Shinsuke Nakamura and Ricochet, Seth Rollins comes out. He's a madman. He's coming out. He wants to attack Shinsuke because Shinsuke is pulled him down to his level. And, Adam comes out. They're trying to tell him no and this and that. So then the match happens. Ricochet causes a DQ, and then Shinsuke gets the chair and starts beating up Ricochet. Here comes Seth. In just a moment, everyone's coming out, and then Shinsuke runs away. And he keeps mocking him, and, after beating him down first, and then walks away. And it definitely was something I was like, oh, okay, Seth is hurt. This, I really like this feud and where we're building it to. So next up, we had Rollins backstage, because of his back. And he goes into medical. Then we have Byron with Chelsea and Piper. They're going to face Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. And, Chelsea's like, yeah, we're best friends, Piper, right? And then she's like, well, where am I from? And she's like, Florida, obviously. Oh, I heard a plane go by. But, she's like, no, I'm not. And walks off. And Byron's like, Scotland. And she's like, I knew that, Byron. Shut up. But next up, we have Zoe Starks versus Shayna Baszler, versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Okay of a match, but guess what? That wasn't the point. Nia Jax comes out after a beating down Rhea Ripley. Even Dom mentioning in the starting of the show, saying like Rhea's not here because of the injury she got from Nia. You know, her bruised ribs is what Michael Cole told us. But Nia attacks everyone. She don't give a fuck. She is just like, oh, Zoe, nope. Shayna, nope. Chelsea, nope. Piper, you know, she's out on a rampage. So what's going to happen? And someone said this to me. They're like, what if Jade Cargill's the one to take out Nia? And I was like, yeah, Jade Cargill's in there. No. Whoa. Okay, girlfriend, sit down. Let's talk. You know, I want to hear more of that. So I was like, I don't know why. That just got my hair sticking up, goosebump style. I was like, oh, shit, that'll be dope. Adam with Chad backstage, and Mr. Bronson Reed interrupts, so it sets up a match for them later on. They talk about The Rock on SmackDown, you know, with Pat McAfee and Theory saying like over 103 million people watched this moment with The Rock. And I was like, that's a lot of people to watch that. Jackie with Jey Uso, Damian interrupts, and he's like, hey, man, our invitation's out there. You can come join the Judgment Day. Everyone wants your brother Jimmy, but I want Jay. I want Jay to join the Judgment Day, you know. So they're definitely playing both sides of the card. So more or less, like when this whole thing started, I was kind of like, this is kind of stupid. But I kind of see, like, you know, we're interwoven. Like they did that with the Bloodline with both shows. Now they're like, no, we're going to take JD and we're going to sprinkle the JD all over, even in NXT and all that. So, because to show that they are the dominant factor inside this business, brother, especially the WWE, brother. But The Rock, I was waiting for The Rock tonight. I don't know why. I was like, okay, where's he at? Oh, only on SmackDown because of that Fox money. Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed for the win for that tsunami. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad. Like, I felt bad in the sense of like, damn. I thought Chad was going to win because he was backstage. He's like, hey, I want a rematch against Gunther. And I'm like, yes, please, Adam, give him back that rematch. I want one more with Gunther and him. But no, Bronson Reed beat him. And I was like, okay. But this Bronson Reed is going to face Otis next week. So I just hope we just don't lose Chad in the mix again, because Chad has been doing so great. He's the mathematician, as I called him. You know, all this great stuff with Alpha Academy. Maybe get him back in the tag team picture with Otis and stuff like that. Just don't let this team fall to the wayside. And losing to Bronson Reed really hurt me on the booking end of it, because I was like, here we go again. Tommaso Ciampa promo package. He wants Gunther, and he has a match tonight against Giovanni Vinci. We'll get to that soon, but I was like, Ciampa and fucking Gunther, let's go. Even though I just said I don't want Chad to fall. Then, you know, we got Tiffany Stratton, Becky package from last week in NXT with Becky winning the championship. She's on her way to the ring. Kevin and Sammy are backstage. You know, Jay interrupts. He's like, hey, man, you know, like, it was a mistake and this and that when I kicked you last week. And Kevin's not having that. Kevin's angry. He leaves. He's like, fuck you. You know? He goes, and then Sammy's like, hey, just give him some time. Becky Lynch cuts a promo before this. She wants to put an open challenge out there because she's the new champion. Got a new shirt and Beck's tee. You know, I was like, ooh, I need that shirt in my life. But first, the Oscar shirt's my goal. The new Oscar shirt is my goal. Becky Lynch cuts a promo. Then Natalya comes out and she answers the open challenge. And Becky's like, you know, I want to give somebody new the opportunity. But Natalya brought that fire back. She was just like, hold the fucking phone. So you mean like how you stepped all over the women in NXT just so you can get yourself a championship match against Tiffany Stratton? And then, you know, you winning the championship, taking that opportunity away from them, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, you want to be the hypocrite? I was like, damn, Natalya, you ain't got to, like, tell the truth like that, girl. You should. I was like, damn. But Becky Lynch for the win. Of course, poor Natalya. Natalya's one of those people, I've said it before, where someone's walking around in the back door. Hey, Natalya, what's up? You in ring gear? Always. You want to face Becky? Sure. But she brought that fire. I could tell the frustration, too, of, like, you know, she's been that person where, like, yeah, well, you know, we ain't got really nothing going on with Rhea this month, so, hey, Natalya. All right. I love you, Natalya. Natalia's great. Adams with Dragon Lee backstage, and then Dom interrupts. And guess what? We're going to have Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio next week on the Monday Night Raw for the North American Championship. What in the fiddlesticks is going on? I bet Solo's pissed because he's like, what the fuck? I won that championship. It was taken away from me because it's an NXT title. Then he sees the Becky holding the NXT title. He's like, hold on. Wait a minute. So, I want Solo to intervene in this some way, somehow, because he's like, hey, I won that championship and you took it away. You took it away, goddammit. Now everyone's defending NXT titles anywhere and everywhere on the main roster. So that was just my thought with all that. But I was like, this is going to be cool. Imperium come out because we got Giovanni Vinci versus Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa for the win. Gunther watches. He's like, okay, I'm going to take this asshole on. But I feel bad for Vinci, and Lord knows what's going to happen with him and Gunther backstage. So we shall see. Seth hurt, got his crazy glasses on, and they ask him, like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, next week, Shinsuke, you're going to name the place. You're going to name the time. You can even name the damn stipulation. And I was like, dude, don't do that. But I'm thinking we're going to get something at Fastlane. And I think it's going to be like a no DQ something, no holds barred, no rules, no nothing. It's to get some advantage. And I'm hoping Shinsuke can dethrone Seth. I don't know why. Shinsuke needs some love. And I've been loving this drama between these two. Very, very much so. Now the main event. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. I was a little upset that Drew won. But there was a point. Because the JD come out, the point of the story here was a show where Jay's loyalty to himself lied into, like, it was like, he's like, they're like on the ring opposed, like, hey man, you got to win. They're out trying to help him and this and that. And then Jay does the big super kicks Finn, Damian, and Dirty Dom and everything like that, stating like, no, I will not join the Judgment Day. Then after Drew McIntyre wins, walks away, Judgment Day comes in, they start beating down Jey Uso, and Drew's like looking back, he's like, do I not? Because there's so much history between these two. But Cody comes out for the save, and I was like, okay, going from what we got in the starting of the show, going all the way to this, Cody coming out and saving Jimmy and pulling him up and stuff like that, being like, hey, I got you. I was like, all right, we're going to get Cody versus the Judgment Day, and we could get Sammy or Kevin Owens involved, Drew McIntyre, we could lead the War Games if we wanted. That I think was the intention of like, hey, we're gonna have the Judgment Day because JD McDonough's still a factor, and I'm like, where the fuck is JD McDonough? But he could still be a factor into this, and they could set up something with Judgment Day and Cody, Jey Uso, and Kevin and Sammy, and Drew McIntyre inside of a War Games match, and I was like, sign me up. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all. And I know I'm looking far into the future. It's a day after my birthday, so, I want nice things. All right, y'all, tell me what you thought of the show. I give the show a solid 5 out of 5. I had a really good time. Favorite match of the night, though, that I did not expect was Kofi Kingston versus Ivar. That was a match, man. Shinsuke and Ricochet was fun. I would say second match of that, Jey Uso and Drew was fun, but I like the storytelling aspect more of it. And I will say Natalia's spiciness added more spice to the show. I was like, you go, girl, dropping those pipe bomb, whatever. You know what I mean? Now drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo. Now that's it. That's all. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Seems like you are far more into her than she is into you.